Hello and welcome to the Real World Content Team meeting for July 18th. And this is Comic-Con week and San Diego Comic-Con. So lots of things that need to happen. And so we'll keep the meeting short. But I do want to state this. There's a massive need right now for a very dope story trailer for JFH to come out on Thursday. And that is on my to-do list. It's already written, and people are the folks who are learning about us through this contest are asking questions. And of the contest, the 10K development and production deal that I mentioned to you guys is develop like people are learning about us, and they need to know more about like what the narrative is, because I think a lot of times if you just come across what we're doing, I'm learning from them what it looks like from the outside if you're not like already in the energy field that we've magnetized through social. So people wondering like what specifically is the story, how does the story progress outside of just being an app that's Uber for heroes. As I think that's especially one of the notes I got on the app was because of the because of how we don't highlight superpowers, how it's like there are no superpowers. So it's like people are trying to figure out like, well, what does that mean? And I don't think a lot of folks think about like Batman, for example, as a hero without superpowers that still does has better days, a lot of good. So anyway, we're gonna clarify that with a great story trailer. Even though we already have a few out that are a little loose, but general with the concept, loose with the concept. We're gonna get really specific, so it's gonna be great. So I'm very excited for that. So that is my one of three things tomorrow. I did that interview yesterday with the president of Legion M and Guara from Hit Record, and Jeff Gomez from Starlight Runner, and Jenny Powell from Lizzie Bennett Diaries, and that was like momentous. So that'll come out either tomorrow or Wednesday. I'm a little behind today because I wanted to put out the recap for my Lyft driving today. So like I'm doing my best to kind of like chain all these together across one narrative. So anyway, like just lots of cutting. I have lots of cutting to do, and yes, we want to give you guys that update. But we have the party on Wednesday at the Thor Love and Thunder party, and anybody who if you had, obviously class, if you're in town, you'd be welcome at all the events. Thursday superhero kung fu extravaganza, and Friday's a Tim Burton event. So each day we're going to give out one of these 10K development and production deals, and once again, like they're partially contingent on Element and Creator. Welcome Creator. Hey, David, good to see you, man. And I want to answer one of your questions too, Creator. You asked me something about the action figures, but so we have the 3 Comic-Con events this week. Creator, if you have anybody in San Diego, anybody who's got people in San Diego coming to Comic-Con, they are welcome at all of our events. So please put the word out. Guru suggested that we do an early Thunderclap this week. I think that's the right thing to do. And it should be, Autumn is putting out a really dope video. I think the thing to do is either to repost her video or to do something, some sort of post, or to get the word out to everybody that San Diego Comic-Con is this week. Obviously, that's the biggest pop culture event of the year.
Car?
And yes, so for Creator asks a question. I'll rewind this. I want feedback from all you guys. Hey, first of all, any feedback on Comic-Con right now before we move on? Ideas for the Thunderclap or for the event?
I think it's a good idea to probably repost Autumn makes, as well as post our own, something personal, so that we're talking to our audience like we usually do.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. So let's do that. How? What do you guys think? Tomorrow, Wednesday, Comic-Con starts. First party starts.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So
You think
Wednesday's
Wednesday?
good.
Wednesday. Okay. So let's fire on Wednesday. And I'll send you that video like the second.
I'm in a meeting. I'm gonna talk to you in a minute.
Let's see what else. Creator asked a question about, he's got a bunch of people that want to order action figures of his, and which is awesome. Right now it's like we have something like in the teens of orders that for figures right now, and it's a huge deal. The reality is that I'm waiting for word from Doppel, because there is a way to order. There is a way to order more figures, but I want to make sure each hero gets paid off of each figure. And so until I have a clarity on what that rev share deal is going to be, and how people who are buying are going to have a branded interaction with us, I've already messaged the partner over there, but I'm hoping to get hopefully no later than Wednesday, Creator, will I have that clarity, because like I just want to make sure that the whole point here, we're not selling Doppel figures, we're selling Justice for Hire Doppel figures, and that means that every creator needs to be able to have, every character needs to be getting a rev share. So we're going to make sure of that. And Guru,
I sorry, quick jump back to the last topic that we were on.
Sure.
We should repost as a Thunderclap everyone what Autumn posts tomorrow. We should repost that tomorrow, and then post our own on Wednesday.
Wait, our own what? Our own what?
So the Comic-Con, like Thunderclap that we were going to do this week, because we were saying Autumn's making a video or making something for us to post, and so I said that we should do both. We should repost what Autumn posts as well as make our own. And then he asked us, when should we post it? You came in and said Wednesday. So I am countering that with, on Tuesday, we should repost what Autumn posts on Tuesday, and then make sure we have our videos for Wednesday to post.
That sounds great to me.
Okay, so like, is the video like Comic-Con based?
Say like just drawing attention, saying, hey, there's going to be a couple parties. If you want a hero, or if you're a hero, or if you're going to be at Comic-Con and you want to be at these parties, make sure to hit us up and let us know.
Okay.
Whatever else information Jan wants us to post.
I think that's great. Autumn's video is done, so I don't think it's posted yet. Like I said, I just checked 3 minutes beforehand. So
okay,
but I will make sure that you guys have that by day's end. And but yeah, it sounds great. So Thunderclap tomorrow. We can call that. We can just slide up the Thursday time to tomorrow. So Thunderclap tomorrow, like 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 3:30
New York time or whatever.
New York time, yeah.
Time.
And so and then Wednesday, anything. But pretty much this is like, I think from a personal video standpoint, this is really about your team winning. And I think that's really the real clarity that we need to have here. Like, it's a huge deal for us to have these to be able to offer these 10K deals. Again, are partially based on time, meaning that our time is valued, like, let's say by the hour at a cost. And then there is the actual production deal side of it, which is actually like actual cash. But the actual cash, we won't produce anything until we're finished with our crowdfunding campaign, when it comes to these development and production deals. So that the cash for that will come out of the money we raise, but the development time is really like, one could consider these meetings partially development time, so it's like for us to be able to help cultivate someone's idea, to workshop it with them, help them clarify their screenwriting process, etc. All that stuff goes into the development realm, which has a you know, at the very least, the time cost. So
Yeah.
so it's a big deal. These are the kind of deals that I would offer, or that I do offer behind closed doors to celebrities and writers and producers and directors. So it's great to just like say, you know what, hey, we're just going to offer it publicly, and people are like, oh my god, a 10K development and production deal. So that's great.
Wow,
Oh my god, like, yeah, that's right.
Sweet Willikers,
Come on down.
Batman.
So we're gonna have popcorn equity too, and like that popcorn machine is coming with us. It's gonna be branded with ReelwUrld, and
Heck yeah.
shed some light on it. I'm gonna be passing out some popcorn, and we're gonna have an iPad right next to it, and we're gonna have the WeFunder on there, and we're gonna sell some, give away some popcorn and sell some equity, popcorn and equity. It's gonna be great.
Popcorn and equity.
Get your popcorn and equity, yeah. So that's gonna be great.
Peony. Peony.
So yeah, that's I mean, that's it for the happenings this week. Any way you guys think you can support outside of that, please let me know. And just go for it, just fire. I mean, like you guys all have a great understanding of like of how the brand, you know, should be positioned, and however you guys want to position it for this week to help get the word out. Please go for it. Like, where Comic-Con starts Wednesday and ends Sunday. Where they're, you know, active. Like Thursday is going to be our big story trailer panel. Guru's on the panel. Superhero Kung Fu Extravaganza. We're closing out the show. It's a huge deal. So it is, and there's potential for the show to turn into an annual Justice for Hire event. That has been mentioned by Rick Myers, who potentially might retire after this year. It's the 25th anniversary. So
Already?
it's yeah, so we have to really show out there. So that said, I'll say from a content standpoint, Ragdoll made a new mission, and it's I just checked it out. It's interesting. She did some interesting stuff. And I think you guys should check it out on the missions page. It is interesting when you have a world of heroes that are going after real world stuff. And so, you know, there's you know, as long as people always know, and I think that they do know right now, but we have to always be mindful that people, that missions are understood to be in character, because they're not telling people to go seek out and take out, you know, any terrorist groups or anything like that. Like, you go and you fight it, you take them down. Like, it's of that energy. And I love that.
We are not vigilantes.
It's
No.
But to be able to, you know, I think that's why the story, like, once people get more story content from us, they're going to start seeing like, oh, okay, like, I get it. These guys are essentially, this group is a Batman-esque, you know, hero group doing like creating cinematic content. And
Yeah.
you know, a big part of the reason for that, besides the storyline, is also the fact that you know, from a technology standpoint, if we can't give you special effects for your superhero, then everything's in our heads. So like with the no superhero rule, no superpower rule, we can actually shoot like cool narrative content that makes sense. Given the
It's actually fun. It's actually fun doing that. I'm still editing my work from New York, what I did on Vintage. So it's just like, you know, we're working.
Well, I can't wait to see that, man. And for creator, and this goes for everybody. Like, we set a protocol maybe a month ago or so to please post anything, please share anything that you've posted from the week in the chat, like, you know, about 30 minutes before we go on these meetings, so we can all look at it and give each other notes and improve. So I know, creator, I know you did a post like yesterday or something like that, and Sensei, I'm not sure if you did one. Guru, I know that you were coming out of something yesterday, so I assumed that you didn't have time. But just in general, let's keep that protocol posting in the IG chat so that everybody can see what your activity has been. One of the main notes that Gaurav Misra gave about hit record that I didn't know until yesterday is how important notes were for growing their community. I asked him about Joseph Gordon-Levitt being the director of Hit Record and positioning himself to the community as I'm your director. And he's like, I've worked with really good directors, and it's really important to work with a good director, so I'm your director. And I always appreciated that message. He's like, hey, I'm making our ecosystem is a little different, obviously, because we've learned from them. But at the end of the day, I found out that he wasn't the only director. There's like 10 other directors inside the organization with him, and that all of them had not only their own note system, but they all had other like note givers underneath them, and that the culture in the community, which was mentioned in their videos, like it just give some notes, was actually a huge part of their community, like people giving other people notes. And I think that from a culture standpoint for us, I think that it's a really interesting concept to shift the idea of comments into notes. And like that's a totally separate technology conversation of, hey, if you're on social media, rather than leaving a comment, leave a productive note so that people can get better. So I think that's really, really interesting in and of itself. But bring it back to us, please post, just drop the stuff that you've done, whatever it is for the week. And of course, if you haven't done something for, if we don't have something that we're working on, then the baseline is just go and do a challenge or a mission. But whatever it is, post it in there so we can all learn from each other and give notes to improve. Sensei?
Yeah, so this notes thing is giving me an idea, right? So you know how when you subscribe to certain things like YouTube, Instagram, whatever, you get privileges you didn't necessarily have. So where I'm going with this is there's already a functionality existing for things like tiered chats and such. A little bit like we're doing right now with having the private rooms, but for the app, long term, this is not a tomorrow thing. It could be cool to have layers of chats, right? So the base one is your sort of general social media one, just people saying, yeah, that's cool, whatever. Fun, but not necessarily useful. Then based on certain other factors, you could get access to different chats on the same media. For example, say you were to make a video, there could just be, before not getting it super competitive. All right, David, take care.
Hey, man. Thank you.
But because this is something I'm just coming with now, not to get super complicated, but basically, let's say, David's just going, so let's say he makes a video where he posts this video we just made. I haven't seen it because he's still working on it, but say he posts it, right? Everyone on the app or YouTube or whatever has access to standard chat, right? Which is you make an account, you can say, yeah, that's cool. Then there's, let's say, a production chat, right? Which is specifically dedicated to filmmaking perspectives and techniques. So somebody is watching the video and they say, you know what? I would have made this cut you made at 2 seconds at 2.5. Let it breathe a little bit more. And somebody else says, so this hit you sold over here, you took a hit. You should have done it from this angle because it looked a little bit fake.
Yeah.
Basically, anyone who's got the production ideas could then exist in this chat. I know I'm coming across as overly critical, but I think of things a bit critically. And break things down specifically from, you could say, like a film school and educational point of view. And there are all kinds of ways that could be played out. And, it's an idea I had just now, so it's not like this is necessarily going to be something we do. But in terms of adding value, it would, I think, be a good real world slant on how many social media sites and such platforms, how many social media platforms do give people access to a second tier chat. And I think if we were going to do that, this would be the way, production chat. And then maybe in the future, something like stunt chat, camera chat, whatever. But I think production chat, working title is a good concept to keep in our back pocket. Guru's got something, so I'm gonna put my hand down.
That's great. I've literally been taking that note the entire time. Perhaps people get access after they produce several videos. Earned. Sensei. Plus. Idea. Thank you so much, man. That's fantastic. And Vintage was mentioning something along the lines of us adding more layers of like earning in terms of like earning functionality, and even down to potentially even having a wait list to get into the app, which I don't think is a good idea. Like, right, like I don't want to wait to do wait lists for people. I want people to just jump right in, but I do think that this is that I love this idea. So thank you, man. I wrote it down. Guru.
I mean, that just sparked an idea in my head that I would like to build on as well, because I mean, talking about the multi-functionality or the multi-layering of access and things like that to the app itself. I was thinking about clients and more specifically, how we have this ally and rival function. Well, a client should also be able to follow the heroes that they want to go to complete their mission, or that they like seeing how they handle something in the world or whatever it is, like giving that ability to follow them. Not necessarily a way to need to track it, but I mean a way for it to like populate said feed, or you could find something quickly, as well as having different functionalities between a hero profile and a villain profile. Just because, like, if there's an added layer, maybe there's something a villain can do that heroes don't see or can do, much like what Sensei was saying, of having like a villain chat that you have access to, where you can band together with other villains to create mischief and hide amongst the heroes together, and then you'll understand who else is a villain out there. Just like we're assuming everyone's heroes, but only the villains would know who the other villains are.
That's fantastic. Yes. Yes on all of this stuff. Thank you so much, guys. This is great. Any other thoughts, ideas, or comments on how to make this better, or on things that aren't working? Like if you guys don't think that posting the video in the IG chat 30 minutes before is working, let's figure out something else. So what do you guys, is there any improvements or notes to how we're doing this call, these meetings, or our system right now that you guys have?
I would say we should get things to be a bit more, I don't like this term, routine or automatic, where, if we're doing, say, the whole collaboration thing, I've got a bunch of videos where I've tagged collaborators, in the group who haven't responded. So stuff like that, it just seems to kind of be wasted if we don't actually follow up on it. I mean, ideally, if this was something that, if we had more money here, we'd just have somebody like an intern managing a bunch of this stuff, But what I would say here is, I've brought up Hootsuite before. I think what we should get to doing, and I could do some work on this tonight, I've got some time, is use a social media management app, because we get all these things like someone says, I can't do the Thunderclap this time. Well, okay, fair enough. We should figure out a way to automate that then, Like if you're not going to be able to do it, just make a bot do it, it's free. So I agree some things should be done with human passion, integrity, and all that, but something like making a post, that we should probably just automate to a certain extent. If it's just going to be something very simple, like I missed the last Thunderclap because, well, I didn't miss, I posted it late, but I count that as a miss personally because I was roaming, I had to be out for work, my data was just bad. So I posted like 5 times before it actually showed up. Something like that, I would rather just preload it on Hootsuite, not have to bother with making sure that I'm in a part of the city that has good, good mobile. So that's what I would say right now is for anything that's automatic, like, again, the Thunderclaps, we should just put out a copy in the group chat, like, okay, guys, like the time I was doing the Thunderclaps, I just pre-wrote it and said, guys, just put your spin on this, but I did the boring parts. So I think that's what we ought to do as much as possible. And like I said, if we want to do this, maybe this is the best timing because of Comic-Con and all that, but we really should incorporate some kind of social media management software. A safe one, of course, because we don't want to get some kind of leak down the line, but something like Hootsuite, or I forget the other one I used to use a little bit, just so that anything that's timed like Thunderclap can just be 3:30 on the dot, no problem, already done.
So just question, when you say utilizing this software, because this is our new publicist recommended doing something similar last week. My question is, I'm not sure, like, do you mean for that every hero has their own Hootsuite, or that we have like one master Hootsuite and all of our accounts are connected to, let's say, all the IGs for the heroes, or that are doing the Thunderclap are connected so that it's one. I don't know if Hootsuite can possibly do this. I'm just trying to understand, like, which one do you mean? Do you mean like everybody has their own, or do you mean that we have one master one that connects to everybody?
So both are viable. I would say that at the moment, it would be easier just to have us all have our own because, so like David's not here, right? But say he was, having Hootsuite would give me, let's say I was doing the management, right? Say we were doing the second idea, one account for everybody, or, one Hootsuite account managing everybody. If we were doing that, whoever has control over that account has to be trusted because they have somewhat direct control over the guy's social media. So say David, we've met once, he probably likes me all right, but I couldn't tell you he trusts me enough to give me that, where I can just say, hey, I need control over your account. You might not be comfortable. I'm using his as an example because, he's not here, so I can't really make him like putting him on the spot, but you get it. So for that reason, I think better off to start out as much as possible individual ones, so no one has to sign over a degree of autonomy for their account, Not
So
because anything bad is going to happen, but because people get uncomfortable about that.
So my concern with this, the idea here is that it might be getting away from the the intention behind Thunderclaps. And the intention behind Thunderclaps to me is connected to even my question of posting in the group chat, IG chat. I'm just seeking for us to have something regular that everyone's accountable for, and that we can measure ourselves by, that we can measure the team, that we can measure individual performance, that we can, so that as we grow, we are growing a team of that is disciplined and consistent, and is really able to give quality constructive notes to each other, and constructive notes are and meaning that one can take criticism because it is delivered with great intent and toward improving the person's performance and the overall team's performance. So thunderclaps to me, like we can get rid of thunderclaps. I like thunderclaps. Like there's because not everybody's posting at the same time every week, and everyone's like so folks may miss etc. by a few hours or whatever. It like the point of the thunderclaps as they were originally contemplated years ago when thunderclaps were a thing is to measure like how much social impact you're making on social like at that moment. So it's hard for us to measure that. And that's a fun thing it's a nice to have, but it's not like a necessity. What really is a necessity is us being able to say, okay, cool, we're going to do this, and then we're going to stay consistent. And it's tough for me personally. Like I know we have these meetings consistently, and which is great, but it's tough for me if we set any intention and then it's not followed through on by one or all members of the team. And my question is like, what intentions can we set? Because if we add Hootsuite's another responsibility. That's the reason I don't use it, because I'm like, like I have to then be responsible for all these other things. And like right now, my posting on JFH is like, I want to be personally more organized for what we're going to be posting weeks out. And there's just obviously there's so much stuff happening that I'm like, man, like I can only post this when I can, and I don't want to live like that. I want to get better. And to me, it's like, hey, the more team we have, the more we can set these goals. But if we can't hit these little marks, then it's hard for us to measure anything. So Guru, please, you have your hand up.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was just waiting. I'm thinking it probably would be best if we all had our own Hootsuite, because I think the thing comes with I noticed there's room for fall off if we leave the energy that we build up what we do on Monday just floating in the air until we have to do something on Thursday, because then the week happens, things get away from us. And that leaves it so that we can, if we each had our own Hootsuite, we each managed our own, it would just mean we would have to just, after we get off our meetings on Mondays, that we would go to our Hootsuite, we would grab, we would get the picture, the video, the thing for the day or the week. We'll collect all of that, and then we'll find a way to post it, put it on Hootsuite, schedule it, and then we can kind of just have that go out on the Thursday rather than waiting till Thursday to do all of that. Have to put it all together, think of what you're going to say. You could think of it then, put it down, set it, schedule it, and then you don't have to think about it again until the following week. And you could focus on maybe something else that it was that you're going to do, like one of the videos that we have, whatever the video assignment is for the week, whether it's taking on a challenge or, we're doing another commercial, what have you. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm just looking at like Hootsuite has a cost to it, and again, there's realities that I want to be fully transparent with when it comes to, let's say, hey, we're going to do a thunderclap. Okay, that thunderclap, the content for that thunderclap may not be ready when we decide what that thunderclap's going to be. And so there is the reality of, okay, this may not be ready until Tuesday, Wednesday. And sometimes that is the reminder, hey guys, here's the stuff for the thunderclap tomorrow. Not to say that that's a great system. Obviously, we need to improve that system as well. So my concern is adding another layer of intended organization. When do we have a calendar? We may not have a calendar. Well, that might be the thing to do. Like just being able to have it on your calendar of, hey, this is the time for this thing on Thursday. Everyone's on the calendar. Okay, great. I'm just doing my best to as simply as possible have a reminder that people can be like, okay, yeah, this is the thing that we are as a team are doing, and this is about the success of the team. Because like the more people we add to this collective, the more they're going to look at how we're operating now as the way to be, you know? So it's just like, okay, cool. We want to be, people should come in and be like, oh, wow, these guys really got it. They really got it. This is great. Look how clean this is. And so like, you know, but obviously there's cleanup that needs to be done on my side personally. There's cleanup needs to be done with our systems. And so I'm always seeking to improve. So like, how about we start with, since Hootsuite, I did find another one called Later, another one called Planoli or something like that. All these things say like, get a free account, but then it's like the starter pack is $18 a month. It's like, man, like just have a calendar, you know? And
Everybody tries to make money.
yeah, no, I think it's great, but you have to be really like, yeah, to me, it's a big cost,
Right.
to versus just having like a reminder set on your phone, and I think that to a certain extent, I don't want to. I'm going to use the word nimble, but I don't want that to be perceived as a justification for how we're operating right now in ways that need to be improved. Like right now, we're very nimble for what can be done during the week, but I don't want us to be nimble. Honestly, I want us to be like so amazingly organized that it's like, man, we know exactly what's happening next month on that Thursday. You know, like that would be awesome. I can't wait for that. You know, right now it's like, man, gonna cut all this stuff for Thursday. You know? So how what I'll do is I'll set a calendar invite for everybody for a Thunderclap for tomorrow. You know, but then it'll like next week it'll start for Thursday. So I'll set the Thunderclap. I'll set the Thunderclap for Thursdays now, and then I'll change the weekly Thunderclap only for this week to be for Tuesday. And Wednesday, we don't need to Thunderclap at Wednesday. It's just like post whatever you can that'll like
Right.
really move the dial. And so I'll do that now. So we'll just take, this is great. This is a great step forward. We have one more layer of reminders, accountability, access, and unifying tools. This is how we're supposed to do it. I didn't even realize we didn't have a Thunderclap calendar invite. Hold on, do we? Let me make sure that because that
No, we don't. At least I didn't get one.
Do we not have a Thunderclap invite? There's no Thunderclap invite. What kind of operation are we running here? All right, I'm gonna put this out now. No, this is great. This is a step in the right direction. And so, okay, now I'm not gonna add one for the drop content in the IG chat on Mondays, and unless you guys think that we need an additional reminder of 30 minutes before, please drop your stuff in.
Sorry, I see Guru talking, but I don't hear anything. We're saying something.
No, I'm not talking. I'm thinking.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm like, go ahead.
Okay, so I just hopped into this thing on Facebook called Creator Studio. Just wanted to say, as far as that goes, this lets you manage Facebook and Instagram kind of in-house. There's no extra cost like Hootsuite, unless you're running an ad campaign, which we're not gonna. I'm gonna give this a look, tonight, because I got time tonight. And I'll bring it up again if I think it's worth a go, because Instagram is still a primary platform, and something like this might still be the training wheels we need. I'm not going to say, that it's going to be the difference maker, but as we're figuring things out, automating a little bit might just help with things like coordination, since we're on different coasts and all that. Again, it's not necessarily the way, but I'm going to give this thing a look tonight just to see if there's anything that I think I can squeeze out of it.
Thank you, man. This is fantastic, because our publicist just mentioned this as well. So thank you so much for mentioning this. And I'm hoping this is, the first thing I get when I click on I have a login page where the button's not working, and they're talking about IGTV, which no longer exists on Instagram. So someone's dropped the ball on this side on the Instagram side. I'm not being up to date on what they're actually offering. So maybe, but the Facebook login works. Okay, cool. All right. No, this is great, man. Okay, so I'm going to set I'm going to set that now. You guys, I'll share in the chat the Autumn's video, and if you guys need I can share the post, or I can also just share the video itself. I'll do both, because just in case you don't want to use a repost app, that might be easier. So this is really great, guys.
Sweet.
Thank you as usual, Guru. I can't wait to see you on Wednesday in person. It's gonna be fantastic.
Likewise.
Yeah,
Right.
you are coming. Are you coming in costume on Thursday?
I can come in costume on Thursday. I will have all my stuff with me.
Okay, all right. So Autumn was asking, like, is he coming in costume? I'm like, I assume he's gonna have the costume with him. So it might be fun to actually even be able to shoot something out there. But
I agreed.
we should totally do that. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, if you let's meditate on this a little bit more. But I think it might be, especially if you're gonna do something on stage, like we should coordinate it. Like I don't know, can you do jump kicks? You
Yeah.
can? Okay, so maybe we get together a few hours before on Thursday, and we figure out like a nice like jump kick when I introduce you. Maybe you can jump kick me and I can take the hit and like fall, and might be fun in a super safe and repeatable way. You know, it might be great.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll bring the shin pads like we did in the shoot, and then we can kick each other and something like that. That might be the thing to do. It's yeah, that might be the thing to do. Okay, cool, man. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys. I'm going to send that calendar invite out right now.
Absolutely.
And anybody who's watching, WeFunder.com/ReelwUrld. I was just about to point to this. This is WellGo USA, who's one of the sponsors for the Superhero Kung Fu Extravaganza. We're not raising money for them. We pull that down. WeFunder.com/ReelwUrld, ReelwUrld. And of course, you'll find everything you need to know about our company there, making movies and shows of the world. And of course, justiceforhire.app. And that's where it's all happening. Justiceforhire.app. Join the cast, be a hero, a villain, or a client. And we love you guys. And thank you guys so much. Have a great day. And always appreciate your consistently, every time we do this, there's growth. And I'm so grateful for that. So thank you guys. Love you.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.